Hello traders, welcome to Zero Traders. So today we'll be analyzing GBPAUD, right? So before we get right into the technicals, let's take a look at the fundamental perspective, right? So right, as you can see right here, this is the macroeconomics analysis for GBPAUD, right? So as for GBP, we can see that the last event, which is CPI, it was released at 16th of July, and the outcome was actually 3.6%. However, the previous was 3.4%, and the forecast was 3.4%, as you can see right here. So this is positive for GBP, right? So as for the cash rate, which is the interest rate, it was not increased, right? It was not hiked, right? So it remained as it was. It was forecasted and it was previously, right? So as you can see right here. So and as for the GDP, which is month over month, it actually came out on 11th of July 2025, and you can see right here, it came out negative. The forecast was actually 0.1%, but it came out minus 0.1%, which is very bad for GBP, right? So for AUD, we can see that the cash rate is right here, which is it came out 8th of July, and it actually came out positive. Why? Because it's greater than the forecast, right? So the forecast was 3.6%, but then the actual was 3.8%. It was not high, but it's greater than the forecast. So there was expectation for a decline in the interest rate, right? But then it remained as it was, right? So that is better than expected. So as you can see for the employment change, it actually came out negative for AUD, and this is actually very bad as well, guys. So in summary, AUD is actually currently stronger than GBP. However, there is high expectation for interest rate hike in the UK than that of Australia, right? So as you can see for the interest rate, right? So you can see that the employment change for AUD, it's actually the employment rate is not growing, right? So it means that the economy is not growing. And if the economy is not growing, what are they going to do? They are going to even reduce the interest rate so that people can easily borrow funds and then invest into their businesses. When they reduce the interest rate, the interest at which they pay for borrowing that money is going to be reduced significantly, and then they can easily borrow and then use it to do their businesses, right? So that's why there is even a higher expectation for a decline in the interest rate of AUD than that of GBP. You can see, guys. So but however, in the case of GBP, we can see that the CPI, which is the inflation, is high in GBP in UK, and this calls for interest rate hiking, right? So that's so as to tackle this inflation, right? So that's pretty much it, guys, in summary. So let's go to the chart right now. I want you guys to note that tomorrow is AUD CPI, so for July or for June, right? So it's coming out, it's going to be released tomorrow. So here on the weekly time frame, we can see there was right the break of structure to the upside right here. So and I think we had a major break of structure to the upside here. So and if we just bring it right here, so we can see there's a break of structure to the upside and price has returned to the other block, right? So this means that we should see like price start going higher again, right? So but let's go to the daily time frame. All right, so on the daily time frame, let's quickly just zoom in. We can see we had a break of structure bullish right from here, which aligned perfectly with that of the weekly time frame. But then when price was trading lower, right, so we had a break of structure bearish, like internal break of structure. That's why you see IBOS. That's an internal break of structure, and then price traded to the other block, right? So and then this other block later traded, made price to come and took our liquidity from this very high, and then we can see that after price took our liquidity, right? So price was supposed to continue bullish. That's actually what was supposed to happen, right? But then we see how price came back later in the future and then took out this very low, which created this initial break of structure bullish, and then right now we have a break of a change of character bearish, right? So currently, right? So this is what we should watch out for. It's on the daily time frame we are now bearish, right? But on the weekly time frame we are still bullish. So how do we position ourselves now, guys? So now we have two buyers here. On the weekly time frame, we are bullish, right? We are still very bullish overall. However, on the daily time frame, we have a change of character currently. So now remember, on the weekly time frame, we are bullish. So if we are bullish on the weekly time frame and the weekly time frame is higher than that of the daily time frame, it means that that weekly time frame order flow is still the one that we should pay much more attention to than that of the lower time frame. Do you understand? So that is it. So we are still going to look for buys, right? However, if we get opportunity for sales, if we are not on the buy, we can still take sales. but we should put it in mind that weekly time frame is bullish. So overall, we are still very bullish on GBP AUD, right? So we are still very bullish, right? But then if price comes to this point, let's say we are not on any buys, we could actually attempt to take a sell. That is fine. But then overall, we are still bullish, so we should look for buys at this point. I'm currently on a buy. Let's see how it goes, guys. If CPI comes out negative, it's going to boom to the upside. But if it comes out positive, anyhow, we are still trading, guys. Good luck.